part of the climb, faced with an army of vipers and lions. I had to keep on reaching up, cause it was my time to tear down the kingdom, call out the liars. Got a jail on my heart from the pessimist, got those nails in my mouth for impressionists. Spent too much money on a therapist, couldn't fix me, I accepted it. Gladiator, 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 pick a fight with the gods, I'm the giant slayer, bone shaker, dominator, freight train, wrecking ball, I'm the gladiator. Tell me what it is that you think you believe, caught in a crossfire, trouble at sea. Every single day I feel that gold underneath. I see the locked doors, but I got the key. I'ma give you a second just to catch your breath, cause I can see that your heart is jumping out your chest. I know you gave it all, cause I've already seen your best, and it's time you accepted this. Gladiator, 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 pick a fight with the gods, I'm the giant slayer, bone shaker, dominator, freight train, wrecking ball, I'm the gladiator. I've got every reason to fight, I've got every reason to fight. Have you ever shaken hands with the devil on the night? Let me tell you, I've got every reason to fight.
I try so hard, but I think you don't see, because I'm moving so fast, we call it rock and rollin'. My weapon seems useless, cause you're on to me. You are the man supposed to be the honest get controlling. Oh, 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 listen this, oh! Oh, 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 listen this, oh! Oh, 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 listen, gonna do a voodoo dance until you feel my bone. Listen this, oh! Oh, whoa, whoa, listen this, oh! Oh, whoa, whoa, listen, gonna do a voodoo dance until you feel my power now. Now dance!
And welcome everybody to Bristol Motor Speedway. If the iRacing application would like to open up, thank you very much. Welcome everybody to the final race of the first round of the playoffs here for tonight's race, the Spartan Booth 150. My name is Gavin, and I'm joined here once again by the one, the only Armani DePaul and Jacob Mitchell as well. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
What if there's another Armani DePaul or another Jacob Mitchell? Then what would you say then?
Don't even get me
There
started.
is another one on iRacing.
Is that true? Armani, is there another one of you out there?
No, me. There's another one of me
yeah,
on
I'm about to
iRacing.
say, there is another Armani DePaul out there, but not one with a Y in his name.
Fair enough. Now, for tonight's race, we are running just a little bit late. We're actually about to get started right about now. So we're going to make a quick run through the starting lineup for tonight's race. AJ Heiner on pole position. And look at this, Connor Berkey alongside. Don't know how he got there. Then it's going to be River Page, followed by James Thurston. Then Lars Chenoweth and Tyler Dixon. Jason Samito, Nico Savidio, by Chris Silly and Diego Roldan. In the next 5 rows, we got the following: Aiden Arevalo, Logan Soley, Caden Mobley-Kelly, followed by Connor Ballheis, Owen Chemitsky, Connor Trifari, Ethan Workman, Chris Bowes, followed by Diego Guna and Dimitri Mundros. Then finally rounding out the field, it is going to be Alex Ortega again, apparently, followed by Aiden Walker, Bishop Wisdom, Landon Warren, Wayne A. Kennedy, Daniel Botting, and ignore Jacob Mitchell down at the bottom. He's up here with us. Now, chat, please do me a favor. If my microphone is still really quiet from last week, please let me know so I can get that all fixed up. But gentlemen, quick picks, because we're going green right about now.
You know what? He's starting second. Connor Berkey, or Connor, whatever you want to call him.
Just
Ignore
not
this,
a good pick.
There we go.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with the man on pole because Aiden Walker is not here today. Allegedly, somebody else was on their account and
Well, that ain't good.
trying to get points. That's not going to happen, but I mean, I feel like it's a pretty obvious pick to go with AJ Hyder here to start things off. Although I will say, if there's any time for James Thurston to break his winless streak, it's today, because he did win here in Season 7.
Those are not his cams, apparently. Well, I tried.
So the mic's still not miking.
Also, it's still a bit quiet. It's still a bit quiet. Are you kidding me? I mean, sure, here. I'll give it another try. Here, I'll raise it even more.
Connor, I'm picking you to win. And speaking of Connor, Caden Mobley Kelly is spared this week because for today, I am no longer hating on Caden Mobley Kelly. We have an alliance this week he doesn't know about. I am now hating on Connor Trafari this week. So, Connor, Trafari, you're going to suck. You're going to crash. You're not going to win.
Yes, bro.
You're going to fail.
Well, we're about to go green. Guys, continue to let me know whether it's too quiet or not, but we're going green now. Look at Connor Berkey on the restart. He's going to take the lead.
Connor Berkey's leading in NASCAR race. Come on, lead a lap. Lead a lap. No!
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna fucking happen. Oh my god, he fucked it. He fucked it.
Connor Berkey in the wall. Diego Roldan and Landon Warren are involved. You've got to be kidding me here, really?
Oh, mind you.
Well, let's take a peek here, fellas. And Connor Berkey had a great qualifying effort in second place, but off the jump, he had a great restart, a really good restart. But then he just got loose out of 2 in front of Thurston. Thurston with nowhere to go. Nico Servillo gets a pop along with Chris Lilly. And then right at the end, Landon Warren sliding into it, trying to slow down.
That was beautiful.
And he was saying during the
immaculate.
lineup here to green, he was saying to Chris, hey, can I get an EOL? I didn't expect to qualify second. This was a shock qualifying performance from the 27.
I mean, listen, if you're one of those people who's not confident in their driving abilities and you want to start in the back, then I don't know why you just don't qualify. But
exactly.
I mean,
Well, there was
that'll happen when
no
you
threat of missing the show. Only about 20 guys made the field. So nothing there. Chat, can I get one more? I just raised the volume just a little bit more on my mic. If you guys can just give me a...
I listened in for a second. I think you're fine.
Am I good now? Am I good, chat?
there's one guy in the chat
If I
saying-
get like really loud,
Rez is saying in the chat you're fine. Rez is saying in
Well,
the chat
look,
you're
that
fine.
was before. I want reassurance. I don't want another Watkins Glen, people. It's good, are you sure? Okay, well, if he says it's good, then I'm gonna believe him.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Okay, well, I'm happy to hear it.
So my pick is already out of this race. To be fair, it was a mean pick. Or as we say, throwaway pick.
Did he already crash out? No, he didn't.
He's not... Literally any chance Connor Berkey had of winning this race went away as soon as he hit the
he's
wall.
one lap down. You gotta see it. But that's Bristol for you here, guys. Now, coming back to green, I believe this time by now we're going to shake things up a little bit. AJ Hyder now with control, and now on the inside line. He tried the out... actually, no, he was on the inside line for the first restart. Did not get the best of jumps. River Page, all the aggressor on that outside line. He was part of that group of drivers that were fighting for the win last week at Watkins Glen. Right behind him, Lars Schemeth, and how about this for a change? Jason Semito having a horrid first couple of races here in the playoffs, not fighting for a championship by any cases, but at both Chicagoland and Watkins Glen, he had really poor running. So far, so good for the 94. He's inside the top 5. Here we go to the restart, and a much better launch from AJ Hyder. He's up and away this time round.
All right, now you're going to see the difference between someone who knows how to lead these races, as Hyder very cleanly off of turn number 2. Compare that to Connor Berkey, who isn't really experienced up front, and obviously you can see the distance or the difference in the fact that Hyder actually managed to survive a lap. again, the difference between knowing what to do up front versus in the back of the pack, it's a huge one. You saw it obviously in the first lap when Connor Berkey, you know, he got his incident, and Hyder, he's just setting sail.
Hyder getting out to a good lead over River Page now. About 3 or 4 car lengths as I hear another car in the wall down there in the back. It looks like it's Nico Servideo.
And while that happens, most of the field right now single file around the bottom. A big thing about this racetrack is that you can run the top. In fact, a lot of people would say that's the faster way around, but that comes at a caveat, and that's those precious tires that you're going to need to run some quick laps around here. These guys do not want to burn their stuff too early. Here's Connor Trafari with a move to the outside on Connor Berkey, but Berkey is going to continue to hold station on the bottom into turn 1. Connor Trafari's got a nose up there just for a second, and Ballheis is going to give him a lane to use.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you meant to say Ballheis, not Berkey, but yeah. You mentioned that outside line, Trafari using it to his advantage. Like I mentioned, I'm on Trafari hate watch this week. But yeah, that top line being used to the advantage. Look at the 19 as well, getting a run on the 15. Let's see where he does here going to turn 3. Exactly the same thing, using that highlight to his advantage. Going to try to get the run coming out for 4, not quite, but he makes it up once again on the entry. Inching ever so closer to the back bumper of that number 15. That is the battle for the 9th position as Caden Mobley-Kelly is inside the top 10.
I would have figured it would have taken a few dozen more laps for this high lane, these middle and high lanes to get settled in, kind of like it was with the truck race on Friday night. But looks like the top line is starting to work right away. And you mentioned it, Gavin. Those tires are very important. You don't want to burn them up. The difference between new and old tires is a stark contrast. We saw it with the split strategy race on Friday, and if there's another caution here soon, we might see it here.
On that outside, there goes the 19! Logan Sully in the wall!
And there's the caution that I spoke of.
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple right there. Logan Sully was trying really hard to make that top line work to get around Connor Ballheis, and he overcooked it into turn 3. Let's take another look.
Yeah, like you mentioned it, Gavin, he just kind of threw it off in there, and kind of similar to Berkey when he had his accident, just got really loose, couldn't control the car, no grip, and he got better scot-free than compared to Berkey. But I mean, that's the thing, you use that outside line, there's a lot more speed, but Jacob mentioned it earlier, just, you know, it typically takes a couple laps for the rubber to set on that part of the track, and you can really put down some good speed pretty early. It's pretty fresh, very can't think of the right word to use here. It's on the tip of my tongue, but either way, it's very slick. That's the word I was looking for. Up it turns, that's middle and high lane.
And interestingly enough, in this accident, Tyler Dixon, for whatever reason I can even explain, came up the racetrack and clipped the 19. I guess he thought he was going to slide down the racetrack and ended up having nowhere to go.
Look at the replay. It doesn't look like it was. It looked like he got more damage just from hitting the outside wall than hitting the 19. So I think damage-wise, they should both be fine. Well, maybe not.
Some guys coming down pit road. The majority of the field's staying out here. We got a few players down pit road. Daniel Godding, Nico Servideo, of course, Logan Sully's going to have to come in. Diego Roldan, Tyler Dixon, Owen Chabinski. And big player here, James Thurston. He got involved in that first lap scuffle with Connor Berkey. He brings it into the pit lane. He's going to be one of those fast guys that's not going to charge to the field. Remember, fresh tires is how he ended up winning that Season 7 race here with that 3-wide move on the last lap.
Oh yeah, who did he beat in that race?
No, I don't think we need to talk about who was involved in that one. I think that I think me just explaining it is more than enough.
You know what? Fair is fair. That is a fair assessment of that race. Well, anyway.
All right, well, we're going to get double filed up once again. Look at this top 10 here. You got, you have typical contenders like Hyder and Page, but how about Samidio inside the top 10? Trafari back in the top 10, Cade in the top 10, Chris Bowes, and Ethan Worksman?
Ethan Workman. Okay, he's a regular here. Don't be
Did we mention that Caden is on one hand tonight?
Oh yeah, he still has that injury.
Yep.
All right, we're heading back green here. AJ Hyder, River Page. Hyder got a good jump last time, and once again, a big jump again. River Page cannot respond. We're back green, and Lars Chenoweth now making a look to the inside for second place.
Page is in that outside line, getting the run up the top. He's going to slot in the second. Oh, he did a Revelo on the outside, battling for third, trying to get to the outside of the Chenoweth, but he shuts the door. Now dives it to the inside, backs it off just a bit to avoid clipping the 45. We got a couple battles here inside the top 5. Contact between the 45 and the 09.
Yeah, Revelo getting aggressive early on here in this race. He was eliminated from the playoffs due to the results last week. He has no mathematical chance of making it to the next round of the playoffs, but he's still fighting like he is, and there is contact with Chris Lilly. Battling with Chenoweth there. He got a little loose out of 4. Now they're 3 wide. I believe that is for 6th position.
No, it's for 5th. Has made a reputation of being one of those aggressive guys, and there he goes into the wall. No rear downforce on that 09. The corner panel's torn off the thing, and he's holding on for what he's worth. Now he's back to, I believe, yeah, he's in 9th place at the moment, trying to recover, but a horrible start to this restart for the 09.
Look at James Thurston on the outside, using those fresh tires to its advantage. Making a move on the 03. Now he'll do work on Chris Bows. That is for the 10th spot. So James Thurston already back inside the top 10. And again, this is what, like just maybe 20 laps worth of racing on the tires. And look at the difference it's making. The 96 is flying right now.
Yeah, like I said at the top, tires are going to matter here big time. And even though there's only a couple laps here on the difference of the tires between the guys who did pit and who didn't pit, you can see the 96 is going to be flying here early in the stages of this green flag run. And if this goes long, it's going to benefit the 96. Is up in the field. I believe that's LJ Samito. He may have gotten into the wall a little bit. He lost a few positions that lap.
And they're starting to pack up here behind Jason Samito as Connor Tricori made the move on him. Ball heist followed by Caden Mobley-Kelly. Then Arevalo, and then Thurston. This pack is about to get red hot for position. Here comes Ball Heist down the inside. Nothing Samito can do to match. Caden Mobley-Kelly up next, side by side into 3. While Thurston's biding his time behind Arevalo. Peeking to the inside, Arevalo shuts that door as he goes for a position on the 94.
Yeah, it looked like Thurston, he's trying to get by the 09, just can't find a way to do it. I think he'd rather go to that outside if he can, as Thurston just was blinking there for a little bit. But now he's going to try to get by this 94, clear him, and now I think he can finally get by the 09. Yeah, you see right there, he goes to the high side. Caden is there, not a lot he can do. Thinks about making it 3 wide, but Kelly shuts the door on him. He's got to stay behind that 18 for now.
Yeah, it's like James Thurston right now. It's like he's stuck
3 wide, Caden, I'm sorry to
80.
say that. Sorry, Jacob, but Caden almost just turned the 09, and the Thurston almost took it 3 wide.
Yeah, I was about to say before that moment happened, it's like James Thurston is stuck in I-81 traffic there. He's trying to, was trying to pass both of them at the same time, but he got blocked by them racing. But now he's by them both, and he can continue his charge. He's up to the 7th position now, looking to charge down on Connor Bullheis here in the 6th spot.
A lot of chaos going on near the end of the top 10. While all that goes on, the battle for the lead continues. AJ Hyder is keeping River Page on a little bit of a leash within about 2/10. River's able to stay there, but you'll see River starting to run that middle line a little bit. He's trying to gain a little bit of momentum around the racetrack. Cannot not match Hyder on that bottom, and he's trying to close in. He's within about 2/10, but nothing more between the leaders.
Yeah, I just looked at the lap times right now. Thurston's running about 1/10 to 2/10 faster than the leaders right now. So clearly he's got the pace, and he's just working his way through the field. I imagine once he gets a little bit of clean air, gets through some of this denser traffic, he's going to have a real shot at these guys. It's Page all over the back bumper of Hyder. He gets a big run coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, Page was running him up the racetrack trying to get any advantage he could off the exit, and now he's down to the inside trying to make the pass work, but the bottom has just not been working for passes. It's going to have to be the top line if you're going to make the pass here today, as this top line has rubbered in quick here. After only about 30, 40 laps, this top line has started to come in, and it is working well for Hyder.
And While that's going on, here's another battle here. This is for fourth. Connor Trafari has caught Chris Lilly. Chris Lilly said today he's getting a top 5. He is tired of getting these 6th place finishes. He has not gone a single top 5 on the whole season. 8 top 10s. Nothing to scoff at, but considering that Daniel Bonning's gotten the top 5 before him this season, he'd like to change that. He's right now running fourth, holding off Trafari, but look who's watching on behind. James Thurston's now caught onto the scene, trying to pass them both.
Thurston, he's going to try to go to that high line. No, he shoots down to the bottom, all the way down to the bottom, pretty much painting that yellow line. Gets to run with that fresh tire. Let's see what he can do here going to this set of corners, all the way up to the high side. Going to try to get into that rear quarter panel of the 9. Trafari gives him plenty of room. Thurston now getting inside the top 5. He's going to pass by Trafari here. Let's see what he can do against Chris Lilly. Stays up top. Lilly in the middle lane. Thurston right next to him. And now Thurston moves up to 4th.
You mentioned it, as Chris Lilly is getting passed here for the 4th position here, Gavin. You mentioned he does not have a single top 5 on the season. If he were to get one tonight, it would go a long way. He is 29 points back of the cut line. Had a bad showing at Chicagoland. Had a good run going with nothing to show for it after he got wrecked at the end of that race. You have to think, what does that mean now as he's battling Connor Trafari here for the now 5th position?
Well, while all that's going on, the top 2 have slowed down. Lars Chenoweth closing in quick, and if you think he's going quick, Thurston's definitely going quicker. We're about to have a 4-man dance for the lead. AJ Hyder, River Page, they're ripping up their tires on the top line, while Lars has been able to save nice and easy down the bottom, and Thurston just has more equipment to use. To the inside goes James Thurston on Lars Chenoweth. While that's going on, Hyder and River continue to rip the top.
Yeah, in the middle of that, Trafari and Lilly still battling for the 5th spot. Thurston, I think he needs to use that outside line to his advantage. Chenoweth is doing a nice job covering that outside and using the momentum that he has to keep the 96 at bay. But really all that's doing right now, that's allowing Thurston to get closer and closer to the 44 and the 24. He might be able to get maybe as much as 2 or 3 positions within the next 2 laps, but he has to find a way to get to that outside line or get a big enough run on the inside like it looks like he's going to do right here to make work of the 45.
Thurston down on the bottom trying to roll it. We haven't seen it work very well today, but that was really everyone that was on even tires was trying to make the bottom. Looks like on slightly better rubber, you can make that bottom work, as he just did. He gets by for the 3rd position, and now he's got his sights set on the 2nd place runner, River Page, right now. Thurston, this decision to pit here early in the race has paid off, as he might be set down a set of tires now, but River Page is in the wall. That's going to give Thurston the 2nd position, as he's now going to chase down Hyder for the lead.
Big mistake for River, and we got to talk about this. James Thurston is on the longest winless streak of his career, 25 races since his last trip to victory lane. That was at the Chicago Street Course last season, and this is the place he's very familiar at winning. He won this race back in season 7. He's now on the back bumper of his old championship rival during his rookie season. Caution is out on the speedway. We have trouble on the track.
That
it's
is
Aiden
now
Arevalo, and he just drove into Connor Berkey.
Well, let's take a look.
Saying he couldn't steer.
Well, here is the scenario here. Logan Soley. Ooh, that's an interesting
Soley
one
just
to
dumped
say.
him.
Hold on.
Yeah, Soley got into a Revelo, and this was after contact with Chris Bose. And then Owen Chabinski just doesn't seem to slow down too much, or was committed to the bottom and just runs into the 09. And then
I think that was net code.
As you can see here, Aiden Arevelo's not paying attention and dumps the 27. Keep in mind, he's already gotten 1 suspension this season. He got another penalty point after...
Apparently his steering was gone.
Well, I don't think
when it came to the incident with the 27
I mean,
there.
I don't really think that your steering has anything to do with your throttle inputs last time I checked. But nonetheless, I mean, that's just a little bit of a silly situation there. I mean, that might be a 3-week vacation for the 09. Let's take another look at it. So you'll see here, going down into turn 1. Watch this right behind. Logan Soley, Chris Bose, they're going to be running into each other into the corner. And Yeah, it definitely just looks like, I don't know if Arevalo was just slowing down or what was going on. And yeah, Owen Shabinsky now in a second look doesn't really have anywhere to go right there. But yeah, Arevalo then just, he just throttles up.
Yeah, I got nothing for you there.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I get your steering's broken, but I mean, if your steering's broken, stop the car.
Hey, you know what they say? You turn the car better with your pedals, driver.
And really quick, under this yellow, I'm also going to see if I can get that camera thing fixed. Give me 1 second, viewers. Let me go ahead and get that all fixed up. Oh, I see why I put the completely wrong thing into the track cam. And
We still have a car out on the track, just sitting. That is... Or we did. Might have been... Oh. I know Thurston really didn't want to see that caution, or he was probably begging that caution to come out at least maybe a lap later. That way he would have been able to take the lead from Hyder, because now they're on equal tires, equal rubber. And once we get to this restart, the outside line is at such a disadvantage, and Thurston, he's going to have to go back to work, and his advantage that he had over the field is gone.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing here for Thurston. I think it's a net gain nonetheless for him. He's back to where he started, was in second when the crash happened originally, and he's ended up benefiting big time. But now it's time to go to work at battling with AJ for the win. Another great start by AJ Hyder. He's up and away once again. Green flag.
Better start for Thurston than I thought. He was able to clear the 24. Got a little push from Shafari, allowed him to get clear going into turn number 1, and now he can set his sights on Hyder. Now we're really going to see the pace difference between the 44 and the 96. We saw that Page and Hyder, Shafari got on the wall a little bit. They were kind of holding the field up just a bit, so I know Thurston was on faster rubber, but it's going to be really interesting to see, does that 96 really have the pace to keep up with the 44, or was it all just tires that allowed him to get to the front?
We're going to be a little bit of both here. I know he's very skilled and talented at Bristol, but definitely having the newer tires was an advantage, as Caden Mobley-Kelly has lost the car. He lost it in the middle of turn 2 that time. He kept it out of the wall, kept it out of anybody else's car, and now he is falling back position-wise as Thurston continues to battle now up here with Hyder.
Take another look at that real quick with Caden Mobley-Kelly. Here's the spin down 1, just went in way too deep. A Bristol Classic here. Holds on to it, but lost a lot of spots. He was having a great day so far, and now he has a lot more work to do.
I know we're not on Caden Mobley-Kelly hate watch right now, but it's still fun. No, Thurston's doing a solid job, or I was going to say he's doing a solid job, but now something must have happened. He was all over the back bumper of Hyder, and now he's under threat from Page and Shafari.
Now Thurston dropping back a little bit those last few laps. It was dropping back into the clutches of River Page, but he is trying once again to get that run on AJ Hyder. And I know this is a short track. I know it's obviously aero is not that big of a deal, but I do wonder if there's any maybe dirty air affecting him as he is rolling the outside now. Never mind what I was saying. He's trying to catch up, trying to make that pass on Hyder.
And notice immediately, Hyder goes high, he gets loose, Thurston goes low. Here comes Thurston, trying to take the lead of the race, looking for his first win of the season. Right when it counts most, he's fighting for a championship spot in the final round. He's going to go door to door with AJ Hyder for the lead. Things are going to get close, inches apart between these two, as they continue side by side through turns 1 and 2. Thurston continuing to eke ahead, but Hyder doing a fantastic job to hold off on the outside. Incredible stuff here for the lead as they go through 3 and 4.
Yeah, but what Thurston is, Hyder's going to clear the 96. You're going to see Hyder. No, he actually stays in the middle lane. I thought he was going to go back to the bottom and try to save a little bit of tires. I was going to say that Thurston is kind of forcing Hyder to use a little bit more rubber maybe than what he'd want to using that middle line. But funny enough, I think the field has kind of disregarded the bottom, and now they're fully migrated towards the middle and the outside line. So I don't think you're going to be seeing a lot of guys take that bottom for maybe the rest of the race.
Thurston again just trying to close in on him. There's just nowhere he can go because AJ's running that middle lane. Can't go low because the low line doesn't work. Can't really go high because he's blocking that line. He's going to be tough. He goes low again. He's trying to get the run off the corner, but just cannot do it. Hyder has the better grip on the top side. He's rolling the bottom again, down back to the inside, but again, Hyder gets the launch off the corner. It's a cat and mouse game here. Still relatively early in this Bristol race before halfway.
And Thurston's really loose on that inside line. It's really tough to make that bottom line work around here without better rubber. But Thurston's going to try it anyway. One thing that he is absolutely doing, though, is he's making Hyder use up that stuff. Like Armani said earlier, tire wear is going to be so valuable around here. And when you rip that top, that tire wear is cranked up to the max. That's why he was really enjoying running that bomb for a little bit, forcing Hyder to run a line he probably doesn't want to run. And it's keeping him within his tire tracks. But Hyder continues to lead as we're approaching halfway in a few minutes' time. Lap 70 of 200. It's over Hyder, then Thurston, and now Trafari with a big dive to the inside. He's been running the bottom this whole time, saving his stuff, and he'll move up to third as he passes River Page.
And you see, Gavin, like what Thurston really is trying to do, I've noticed he's been trying to do pretty much all race long, is you really got to get good rotation in your car if you want to make the bottom work. You got to get that run corner entry, get good rotation in the middle of the corner so you can kind of diamond it, if you will, and then really slam it off on corner exit. That way you can kind of just throw it off in the bottom in the next set of corners, and that way you can at least get side by side or maybe even just slightly ahead of the leader, and that's how you're able to make the bottom line work here at Bristol. That's what Thurston did for a good stint when, you know, he was on his fresh rubber. And it's what he's basically been trying to do ever since, but it's so hard to do with Hyder running that middle line, because if Hyder was running all the way on the outside, we see that Thurston can just work to the bottom. But the problem is that middle line is kind of just, well, where am I going to go? Am I going to go all the way up top where it's getting squeezed into the wall, or am I going to go on the bottom where I'm at a clear disadvantage? So there's a trick to making these passes work here at Bristol, and Thurston, he's trying to make it work. Unless you're Tafari, you just throw it off in there and you just let Jesus take the wheel, which that's pretty much what happened, how he got to third.
One thing that has been going on is the pace has slowed down quite a bit from these leaders, so much so that this four-way battle for the lead has turned into a six-way battle for the lead. We see back there, this is for the fourth position. Connor Bolheis has been making it work, is trying to make it work on the inside of River Page. He's trying to send it down in there. And Tyler Dixon having a really good run here. He is running in the sixth position right now. He's trying to take advantage of any possible slip-ups from these three in front of him. And now Logan Sully even into the mix. Even after his numerous moments today so far, he is having a good run.
Well, I'm going to have to update the description for Tyler Dixon. He's known as the guy that stays out on old tires on restarts and then ends up either getting wrecked or ends up causing a crash. But I'll tell you what, today Tyler Dixon putting on a career performance right now in sixth place. And depending on River Page's speed here and Connor Trafari's, as Bolheis is making some mega moves on that inside line, it might even be a top 5 run for the rookie, Tyler Dixon. Right up ahead, though, we got action for position. That's going to be River Page, Connor Bolheis. Bolheis slowly but surely has been making that bottom work, but he can't get in line because there's a Connor Trafari in the way. But Bolheis continues to rip that bottom. The only guy around here that's really able to make that bottom work, the 2-for-1 special here, as Trafari hits the wall out of 4. That'll open the door for Bolheis to look to the inside. He might get both of them here, guys.
Decent run off of turn number 2 for Bolheis coming out of the bottom. And he's got that rotation on the inside line. I talked about it earlier. You need that rotation if you want to make the bottom lines work. It looks like the 15 has that. Now the 9, he's just got such a run on the outside, but you got to give credit to the 15. If he can just migrate, he's got about a car length width between himself and the 9. If I was a 15, I don't know if he's got a spotter or not, but I would just say, if I was a spotter, I would say, hey, you got a little bit of room on the outside, you know, get a little bit of extra speed. He might be able to keep pace with Trafari. Unfortunately, that's not what's going on right now is the 9. He's about to all but clear Connor Bolheis, but doing a very solid job. 15's got a good race car.
Bolheis, another one of those guys like Chris Lilly, who is a little ways back in the playoff fight, below the cut line right now, is 33 points back of Lars Chenoweth. He is really trying to just have a really good run here today to have any hope of making it to the next round. Now, it's going to be a big ask for him. I mean, I don't even know if there's enough positions left in the race that a guy like Chenoweth can lose, but nonetheless, Bolheis is trying to make advantage of it. As we saw up there, Thurston nearly got loose out of 4, trying to go for position again on Hyder. He's still trying to work him over.
Yeah, Thurston's been throwing a few haymakers down the inside, pulling some big dives, trying to stay alongside. He's getting there, but Hyder is now pulling such big runs. The momentum is built to such a point where even if Thurston gets along to his door, he just can't carry it on the exit, forcing Thurston once again to run that high line. And you can see when he runs the high side, he almost seems quicker than Hyder. Hyder's really backing up that outside line. But watch this, Thurston's gonna run the inside, big dive into the corner. Watch this run off the corner here from Hyder. Hyder's gonna have a big run, get alongside. We'll see if Thurston can make it work here, down the inside, inching ahead. Now Hyder's on the door, but Hyder's gonna pinch him on exit. And up and away goes Hyder back to the front. Thurston's not really able to make much work on the inside right now.
And Gavin, I talked about it before. I don't know if these guys have spotters or not, but they got about a car length, maybe just a little more than a car length width between the two. If I was a spotter, I would say, hey, you got a little bit more room on the outside. Try to use, like, look at Thurston right there, using as much of the track as he can to his advantage. And look how close he's able to get with Hyder, because he's able to generate that momentum on the outside. He goes to the bottom, but look how much space there is in between the two. And because that Hyder's able to clear the 96 with ease. So, again, I don't know if they got spotters or not, but if I'm Thurston, I mean, we're what, almost halfway through this race. You know that you're probably faster than the 44. He's probably getting a little bit impatient in there. I would start to try to be maybe not too aggressive, but just, you know, use that space that you have to your advantage, because if you don't, you're never going to get by Hyder.
Aggression, I would say, is James Thurston's middle name, as they went by the lapped car of LJ Samito, who's pulling in, it looks like here. But yeah, James Thurston has been trying to work Hyder over these last 30 laps, has really had no luck in doing it. I mean, this is a guy who not getting physical late in the race. I know you're saying there's a lot of space between the two, Armani, but I mean, late in the race, there's definitely not going to be any space between these two. We're coming to 20 to 10 to go later in the race. I can guarantee you there's going to be some contact if that keeps happening.
Well, that's going on. River Page behind has made some looks down the inside on Connor Trafari, but Trafari's holding up station. Trafari is one of these guys today that needs to be careful when it comes to his cleanliness on the racetrack. He got a penalty point for a crash with Landon Warren last week at Watkins Glen. He is in a position where if he does the wrong things, he could get suspended at the worst time possible. He's practically a lock for the championship round after missing the playoffs last season, and he doesn't want to throw it away if he gets himself into a scuffle with somebody he shouldn't be messing with. But he's having a great run here tonight in third place. River Page right behind him in fourth. Connor Boleyes has fallen off after running the inside. He's in fifth. And Tyler Dixon's fallen off a cliff too. He's fallen back to 10th, opening up the door for Lars Chenoweth, Ethan Workman, and now side by side, not for position, but Chris Lilly holds on to 8th, Mudros in 9th, and then, as previously stated, Tyler Dixon's in 10th. But he's got a big jungle of cars here. Chris Bose, the 19 of Logan Soley, and Diego Roldan are all behind him.
River Page is getting a little bit closer to Trafari. Interesting, the top three went into the corner on the bottom line. Not sure exactly why that's the case. Maybe they're trying to save a little bit of rubber. Hyder just staying put on that outside line. And now he's starting to slow the pace a bit. Thurston was blinking a little bit. That allowed Hyder to get some distance between himself and the 96. But Thurston's starting to reel him in again. Trafari got...
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but yeah, we have Owen Chabinski out on the racetrack right now. He is a lap car on fresh tires. He's starting to disrupt these guys a little bit. He was running the wall through 3 and 4. Watch out for that 42. He might cause trouble if he doesn't keep that car under him.
He should be all right here. I feel like he has a little bit more car control than, you know, some of these other guys. I don't know what his strategy is, but I mean, he's trying some alternate goofball strategy. As Thurston has gotten close again to the 44, trying to roll the bottom, but Hyder continuing to roll the top here. I'm wondering, you know, I don't think this race is going to be dictated so much by fuel runs, but more tire runs. When do you pit on the guy up ahead of you, and when do you know,
so
when do you stay out?
When I was told, and this might be completely wrong, but these guys can go about 150 laps on tank of gas. So these guys will have to pit at some point. Well, actually, now that I think about it, probably not. They're probably good on fuel at this point, or at least they're pretty close.
What was the last caution?
Last caution was around lap 50. So we've probably hit that point now where fuel is no longer a concern. But yes, tires will make the difference around here. The way this track is, the way how small this racetrack is. Yes, if you pay, you'll go multiple laps down. But as Owen Chabinski right behind is showing, tire wear is going to be a major factor. A lap car like Owen Chabinski running around here, running a few tenths of a second quicker than the leaders every lap. That might be tempting, especially if you're someone like a James Thurston, like a River Page that can't match Hyder's pace. It might be tempting to short pit, but we'll have to see what kind of strategies these guys cook up over the next 100 laps.
Oh, here comes the lap traffic going by the 31. River Page starting to get over to the back bumper of the 96 as well as the 31 gets into the wall.
31 is also a car that I believe pit earlier, so I mean, or did he just get lapped? I missed it.
He just got lapped.
Okay.
Yeah, he did not pit. I think Owen Chabinski pit under green, considering that he is, well, actually, I think he just got his lap. Where is he? I don't know where he is. Yeah, he's 19. He's 21 laps down. So, yeah, he's not even remotely part of the strategy anymore. But right now, not a lot of action. A lot of these guys running the bottom of the racetrack. Chris Bowes has found himself back up into the top 10. Bolognese must be having some kind of problem there because he has been falling like a rock. He was in 5th. He's back to 10th now, and Logan Slowly's putting pressure on him for the 10th position. You can see the back of that car sticking out on the exits of these corners. He's holding on to that thing for what it's got.
Yeah, Page got by the 96. Didn't really have a lot of battles for the lead here, River Page. I mean, never really had a chance, but I guess we're going to see here. Hyder, I don't necessarily think he has the fastest car, but he's done such a good job on defense that really Thurston, who I personally believe has the fastest car of the race, he just wasn't able to do anything with it. And now I think he's paying the price for using too much rubber because he is dropping off like a rock.
Just mention it, as they continue to just drive past lap cars. River Page has moved his way up into the 2nd position, now also trying to hunt down AJ Hyder, and it's going to be interesting to see here what these guys' plans for pitting is. We saw, Owen Chabinski pitting earlier. He's on those fresh tires. You can see how much faster he is than everybody else around him. It's going to be interesting to see how much faster you are as a leader.
Well, Willie said before this race, I want a top 5. Well, he just ripped the fence through 1 and 2, lost 3 spots to Ethan Workman, Mudros, and Bowes. And now he's going to rip it around the outside there on Slowly to move back up into 9th. And pit stops are starting here, guys. Caden Mobley Kelly is down pit road and out. He's back on the racetrack with fresh rubber. I'm not too sure if he's on the same strategy. Indeed he is. He's 2 laps down, so pit stops are beginning here. We're going to see what kind of tire games these guys are going to pull off.
I think you definitely gotta pit earlier here if you're a guy like, I don't know, Thurston or Page. You definitely have better momentum on the newer tires here, but I mean, I'm wondering how much the fall off would be if you like over 5 or 10 laps. I mean, we saw it with like a 20-25 laps, but it's gonna be tough.
I mean, these tires are getting really bad.
Trafari is pitting.
Trafari's coming in. I'm telling you, man, these tires are getting really bad as Trafari's making... Oh, he missed pit road. Connor Trafari missed the pit lane. And now he's going to lose a spot to Lars Shinoweth. Here comes Dimitri Mudros. Here comes the fresh tires from Caden Mobley Kelly. A costly mistake there from the 9, but like I was saying, these tires are getting really bad. Ethan Workman straight line turn 3 2 laps ago and lost 2 spots by doing so. Now it's going to be Bowes getting close as he got around Chris Slowly, and then behind him is Logan Soley.
A successful Connor Trafari hate watch. Tyler Dixon coming in this lap.
Remember, Bristol, not like other pit roads. There's 2 separate pit roads here. I believe most of these guys are going to be using the front stretch pit stalls because of the lack of like attendance we have here tonight. But you don't have to go all the way around and enter on the backstretch pit stall. You can just jump in whenever you feel the need to. So these guys are going to be real interesting to see here how good their pit entries be. I think it's going to be a big factor of how much time you can gain or lose on pit road here.
Well, now the question is, what does River have to use? Because he is getting closer and closer to the 44, but AJ Hyder's been ripping that fence pretty much this whole run, and he's been able to hold off everybody. One of the few guys that can probably tire save on the outside line, but that won't stop River Page from getting ever closer. Thurston's falling off a cliff. Here comes Caden Mobley-Kelly to his inside. He's going to be that first guy to watch out for. He has been on these freshest tires the longest and has nobody that is on that same strategy around him, so he'll be gaining the most time when everybody comes in as he approaches the top 2. But while that's going on, here come a few other players in the mix. Dimitri Mundros, who's coming back from a suspension after Chicagoland. He is right now moving up through the field. He's moved up the 4th. He's made a lot of passes during the second half of the run on this older set of Goodyear tires. But he's doing what he can to hold off as Chris Lilly closes in on the 03 of Ethan Workman. Right ahead of them is Tyler Dixon. He's on a fresh set of tires, gripping the top side. And then here comes Jason Cimino, Logan Soley, and Daniel Botting.
When are the leaders going to pit? That is the question. I just realized also my mic has been muted for the last like 2 minutes, so that's fantastic. But yeah, that's the question. When are one of these leaders going to pit? Someone's got to make a move. I think it's going to be River Page right now. Nope. He was really slow on the bottom. Lost a lot of ground to Hyder. I thought he was going to come down pit road, but no, just a bad set of corners for the 24.
People yapping over the radio as they're talking about the pit road clarification thing. As here comes Ball Heist. We saw earlier Caden Mobley-Kelly was blasting by the leaders with on his fresh tires. Here comes Ball Heist blasting by them. Again, you're just wondering how long are these guys going to stay out. I feel like the longer you stay out, the better, because then you're going to be on those newer tires for longer, and all these guys that pit earlier are going to be on worse tires.
Well, the bad part is for some of these guys that you might end up in a little bit of a scuffle. For example, Daniel Botting just completely ran over Ethan Workman, who's on an older set of tires. He now has rear end damage on that 03, and that's causing problems for him, because now he has no downforce to use against Lilly as he comes in. Chris Lilly gets around the 03 for position, and Logan Sully is going to follow suit.
Hyder working the bottom now. We haven't seen him do that for a large part of the race. Does that mean he's going to come down pit road soon?
And again, the leaders continue to battle here on old tires. It's Hyder versus Page. As we've seen, that's been the most common battle for the lead this year, I would have to bet. These two just continuing to go at it for position here, as behind them we have more lapped cars trying to make their way through the field, trying to just, carve up these leaders, trying to be fast, and they're trying to gain as much track time as they can to pass these leaders when they pit eventually.
So we got 7 cars on the lead lap. Now, if a caution comes out, this would be huge for these guys. Let's kind of force everyone to take the wave around as Chris Lilly's coming down pit road right now. So one of the real, let's say, front markers, at least inside the top 10, now coming down pit road. I wonder, is that going to bring someone like a Thurston or a Page or a Hyder down pit road? Maybe not Hyder because he's stuck on the outside, but maybe Page is on the inside. Look at these lap cars just trying to get by the slower traffic.
I mentioned earlier, I-81 traffic. This is what it feels like right here. Look at all these fast guys just behind these slow leaders. It's crazy. Hyder is going to be pitting this time by.
Probably a good pick there from Hyder, considering all of the action around him. Better to be safe than sorry, and I think Rivers coming in with him. Yes, he is. Top 2 in the race, coming down pit road. And top 3, make it 3. Thurston's in 2.
Now, if I had to bet here, I think it's going to be Connor Trafari taking over the lead. He just passed those guys. This is going to be a big advantage for him, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Trafari jumped Mobley-Kelly just because of how far back he was, but he should cycle around here, around where the leaders are at, just because he's been out there for so long. He was the first one to pit, but yes, Connor Trafari should take the lead this race. We're waiting on one more to pit. That's the 22 of Dimitri Mundros, who is somewhere around this racetrack.
All right, so the leader's coming out now that just pit. Trafari behind them, but they are basically a whole lap behind Connor Trafari. They're more than a lap back, actually, I think.
A lap and a half. Yeah, that is certainly going to be some work in 60 laps. They got to get going.
Because Mundros was the leader. He just pit. And now they're coming around here. They're going to unlap themselves from Moondros. Now Trafari takes over the lead of the race officially. Caden Mobley-Kelly is actually going to be second right now, having a good run. And in third, I believe, is Bullheis. And so fourth place is going to be Hyder and Page. These guys on the best tires in the field. The question is, they've got 60 laps. Can they make up that deficit?
That's going to be an interesting call there. I mean, Connor Trafari with what could be a very perfect strategy, all things considered, but we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be Hyder, then it's going to be River Page. They run 4th and 5th. They have to gain 12 seconds on the leader in about 60 laps. I think it's possible for sure, but with all of the lap traffic that we're going to be dealing with, because remember, these guys are going to be on the freshest tires, they have a lot of lap traffic that they're going to have to work through in a little bit. You can see Trafari in the background as we watch AJ Hyder. That's a whole track's worth of time that they're going to have to gain.
I mean, 60 laps, 12 seconds back. I mean, that's only, what, 0.2 a lap? It's not impossible here. Trafari running lap times in the 15.928 brackets. AJ Hyder right now running in the 15.81s. So it is definitely possible. I think Trafari, though, if this goes green the rest of the way, I think he might be in the catbird seat in the best possible position, as Bullheis has now passed Mobley-Kelly now for the second position. So I wonder, Mobley-Kelly and Bullheis not faster than Trafari, but Trafari is in a decent spot right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not only does he have all these lap cars as a bit of a cushion that they're going to have to fight through to get to him, but they also got these guys that have also short pit or on older tires and are trying to salvage good finishes today, especially someone like Connor Bullheis, who's trying with whatever he's got left to make it into that final round and race for a championship. These guys are not going to let him off easy, but I will tell you what, Hyder is on his way. He has now cut a whole second within the last 2 laps, along with River Page, but they're also fighting for position as River Page goes sideways coming out of turn 4.
And now Trafari getting passed by the lap car of Chris Lilly, who's going to unlap himself now, sitting there in the 8th position. And Hyder continuing to try to make some headway on Trafari. 15.94 won that last time by, and Trafari set a 16.18. So these guys are definitely catching, but they have to pick up the pace quite a bit here, as now they are here to pass Caden Mobley-Kelly, who is for position. So that's going to move Hyder up into the 3rd spot, River Page up into the 4th position, as Mobley-Kelly is going to continue to drop positions here due to his slightly older tires.
And James Thurston is closing in as well on these two. He was far back from these guys when these guys pitted. He pitted at the same time they did, and he has caught them. So we're about to have a 3-man dance coming up here to the top 2 here for this win. 10 seconds between themselves and Connor Trafari for the lead.
This is going to get fun. This is going to get fun looking down the stretch. I think Trafari, if he wants to win this race, is going to have to continue to conserve his tires. He's going to have to just sit back and relax and take the lap traffic easy. He's going to have to let people go that he's not racing for position. I don't know if he's going to be a huge fan of that, but it's going to have to be something he has to do. He doesn't want to push those tires too hard. You don't want to slip those tires and, you lose a 1/10 of time.
Yeah, so far, he's been pretty easy with these lap cars. He just let Lars Chenoweth and Dimitri Mundros through. That's 9th and 10th. Next up will be Tyler Dixon. But quite a bit of a gap there between him and Dixon, so he'll have a few laps where he can just kind of run it easy and run the line that he wants to, try to run the fastest laps that he can around this racetrack. And so far, I think he's been doing a really good job. As we're coming up on 40 laps to go, these guys have only gained about 2 seconds on him. So honestly, all things considered, I expected them to run a little quicker, as James Thurston has made the pass on River Page. That's going to be for 4th place. If he can get around Hyder, something he's been struggling to do all day, then that's going to be a big change in this race when it comes to who could possibly win, because right now it's either going to be Trafari or Hyder. Both the 96 and the 24 have not been able to get around Hyder today. If they can make that change now, that's going to change the entire complexion of this race.
Yeah, I was about to mention another thing that might just help Trafari in the long run is going to be this battle for what we assume that might end up being the win, but it could very well end up being for second place. As these two continue to race, they're going to wear out each other's tires, and they're not going to have as much stuff in their car to go after Trafari. They have only gotten up to about 10 seconds in lap time. They're going to need some help or a caution. And speaking of Thurston getting around Page there for the third position, we did see, unfortunately, is almost some contact there between Thurston and Hyder. There was a little bit of blockage, not intentional by Daniel Botting, but there was a lap car that allowed Thurston to get past Page. As now the slower car of Bullheist, this is for position, Thurston has now officially moved up into the second spot, as Hyder is going to be chasing him down, trying to get there as he moves up into third now.
Wow, that is huge for this race, and that is huge for James Thurston. Thanks to the Connor Bullheist, James Thurston has moved up into second over AJ Hyder for the first time today. And this is huge now, because when he catches Trafari, it'll be up to him. The only problem, the only thing that stands in Trafari's way, or I'm sorry, in Thurston's way, is Trafari. These two have had many pieces of wrecks over the years, including just a few weeks ago at Darlington when they got together down the front stretch. That eventually led to, well, not exactly a penalty point, but that led to an ever-skirmish relationship between these two after they got together at Portland. So this is not going to be an easy pass here for James Thurston, all things considered, but so far, he is shipped. He is out of here. He is cutting lap time quicker than anyone has all day long. He is cutting about 4/10 a lap between himself and Connor Trafari. At this rate, he will catch him.
Thurston's still got a long ways to go. He's lapping in the low 16s, Trafari in the mid 16s. So, I mean, Thurston, he's doing exactly what he has to do. He's got about 34, 35 laps to do it. Can he get it done?
Yeah, you mentioned it, Gavin. He was cutting off lap times pretty quicker than anyone. He's been consistently 4/10 to half a second faster than Trafari each lap this last time by. He's going to have to navigate some lap traffic there. That was the 84 of Acuna, the 25 of Chris Bose. They are going to be quick work for the 96, but he's right back to hot lapping here. This is getting interesting, as he has now cut the deficit to under 6 seconds this time by. There is no question in my mind that Thurston is about to catch Connor Trafari here, maybe with about 20 laps to go, I think.
And think about this, Thurston is on a 25 race winless streak. When he came here in season 7 as a rookie, he fought for the championship. We thought of him as some of the best that ASCA had to offer. Last season was a bit of a down year. He got those 2 wins at Chicago, at the Chicago Street Course, but that was after a winless streak of his own. And this season, it's not been bad. Believe me, it has some 8 top 10s. He's pretty much locked into that championship round. Like we normally, oh, I'm sorry, not locked in. He's actually on the outside looking in. I completely forgot there for a second. But James Thurston came into tonight on the outside looking in after a poor performance during those last 2 races at Watkins Glen and at Chicagoland. And more importantly, that 25 race winless streak. He has never had a winless streak like that in his career. And as he continues to close in 3 seconds now, he is just 1 pass away from making all the doubters go silent and get his first win of the season. How great would that be?
They're on the same straightaway now. That's exactly what Thurston needs. Now, the last time Thurston was catching guys on better tires, the caution came out. So I know Thurston, he is praying for the field to keep it together, at least until he can get by the 9.
I have to do some actual, like, I have to do some points here. I do want to do some points here. I did not think that this was going to be this close, but I completely forgot, like Gavin did, that Thurston was on the outside looking in. I'll have to set something up here really quick.
And the big thing about this has to do with Aiden Walker, out of all things. Aiden Walker did attempt to qualify here tonight just to get those points in, but Walker was not able to make it tonight. Now, with his 2 wins, ever conveniently enough, he got both wins during the first 2 races of this round. So he came in with pretty much the maximum amount of points that he would possibly need. The one way that he might not make it into this next round and race for a championship is if this man right here, James Thurston, wins. He is 15 below the cut line coming into tonight. If he wins this race and if everyone above him has good days, there is a real possibility that Aiden Walker, your defending champion, might not race for a title. Of course, that's all if they've got 5 guys ahead of him don't have bad days, which all of them so far have had pretty decent ones, to say the least. But that is a very real possibility.
Oh my. Thurston's under a second. He is absolutely chomped into that lead.
Here we go.
And someone else to mention, gotta bring his name up, Dimitri Mundros. He was the very last driver to pit. He's got fresher tires than even River Page and AJ Hyder ahead of him. Will he be a factor? He's got to get up there. He's over 5 seconds back. But Thurston is now no one in between Thurston and Trafari. This is going to be the battle.
Oh boy, when you're Connor Trafari, do you fight? Is there even a point? But when it goes against Thurston, your old rival, you might as well. But does he have anything in the tank to use? Ooh, let's see. Side by side for the lead. Going down to 3. I don't think Trafari, you can't do it.
There's
James
just nothing he can do there.
Takes
Thurston
the lead of the race with under 25 laps to go. He has about half a second gap over Trafari and AJ Hyder. You know AJ's got something cooking with those tires if he has any left. He's now going to close in on the back of Connor Trafari. We'll see how much Trafari fights this one as they go side by side, coming out of 4.
Mundros back by 4 seconds. I just don't think he'll have enough time to get to the 96. And Thurston with a good cushion between himself and Hyder. I thought the 96 was the fastest car all day, and right now he's showing it.
Now 20 laps to go, and I do have the points update and my quick little calculations. It might be a little bit off with fastest laps and everything. If they finished where they are now, James Thurston winning the race and Chenoweth in 6th, James Thurston would be 1 point out. Now, if he did have the fastest lap, they would be tied, and the tiebreaker would, of course, go to the best finish in the round. That would be Thurston with his win. So I don't know if he has the fastest lap right now, but he's gonna need it.
Well, I don't know if he has anything to take at this point to run a faster lap, and I'll tell you what, he's been running faster than anybody all day. Hyder is closing in. He's within 0.5 of a second. He's been saving some in the chamber, and he's ready to let it go. Here comes Hyder within 0.4 now. This race is not over. Hyder's got something to play with, and he wants to use it.
Thurston using that bottom line. Both guys are going to the bottom, just trying to save whatever little bit of tire they have. Hyder is a little bit quicker right now than Thurston. What does Thurston do once Hyder gets to him? Hyder's been using that outside line for most of the day. He's very experienced in that part of the racetrack. But if you're Thurston, what do? You got 15 laps to hold on. Look at the ground that the 44 is making up.
Chenoweth trying to make his way through lap traffic, so he is so far still in a good, decent position. The next guy up ahead of him is Dimitri Mundros, who I did mention had the freshest tires on the track of anybody, as now Thurston has moved up to the top lane to try to get the run off the corner, to try to stave off the attack of AJ Hyder. Remember all the lessons that he's learned trying to pass the 44 earlier in this race. He's going to put them to good use defending, as here comes the 15. He is a faster car, but he is lapped. He is not in the battle of this position. He is just simply a lapped car on fresher tires. Hopefully he doesn't affect this battle too much.
Yeah, and that's going to be Thurston. That's going to need everything here. Now he's going to have to do the same thing Hyder was doing to him all those laps ago. And you already saw him try. He tried out the outside for a little bit, went back down to the bottom now as he's traversing the lap car of Chris Bowes. Now it's going to be him and Hyder coming up on 10 laps to go. This time by, things are going to get a little hectic.
Here comes Hyder on the outside. He's going to get a run. Big run for the 44. Still made up a ton of ground on the 96. Now Thurston, he's going to go up top.
James Thurston trying to hold off the 44 of AJ Hyder. He is going to have to mirror drive now, as the 99 ahead of him is a slower car. Where will he go? Hopefully he stays out of this one. He's trying to stay to the bottom. Oh my god, there's a wreck on the front straightaway. Caden Mobley Kelly is around. The caution is out. This changes everything.
And if you're Thurston, you are more than upset. You cannot believe what just happened. That was not what he needed.
But are you upset? Because Hyder was catching him, and
I would rather have one guy trying to take the lead from you than 10. He had control of this race, and that control's gone. Let's take a look what happened with Caden Mobley Kelly.
Lars Chenoweth doesn't sound happy.
Well,
I don't know why, but
Well, here's Caden Mobley Kelly. He was racing with Jason Samito, and I'm afraid I think Caden Mobley Kelly.
Oh no, the 94 was just way slow off of
God.
exit, and Caden just, I don't know if he just didn't expect it, but the 94 was way slow off of exit, and he just pile drove him in the back. I'm not sure who to put blame on there.
I mean, that's my job post-race. But yeah, not exactly what you like to see. Two lappers kind of racing for nothing over there. I mean, that sucks for everybody involved there, but you gotta love it. But
And
James
now-
Thurston is now going to have to defend for his life here at Bristol. Everyone's in.
They're all pitting. I'm waiting to see if any of these goobers take 2 tires, because there's only going to be, what, about 5 laps to go? What's the difference between 2 and 4 here?
Probably
We
a
didn't really
lot.
get to see that in the truck race, but...
I mean, with the laps, I mean, Thurston would know. Thurston won this race 2 seasons ago with a tire strategy. He took 4 when people ahead of him took none and 2, and he was able to pass all of them up top. So if anyone knows, it would probably be Thurston. But we're about to see the tire strategy here on pit road, and I think the call is for, except for Hyder, not Trafari.
Trafari, Hyder take 2. Thurston takes 4, and Thurston's going to be 3rd out.
I think
This is
that's
gonna
good.
be-
That's a good trade-off, I think.
Yeah, you
Lose
lose
2
2
spots.
positions, but you do have the two advantage tires. This is going to get interesting, this restart. I feel like James Thurston is about to do something very stupid on this restart.
He made it 3 wide on the final corner of this race to win on fresh tires. I know I keep bringing it up, but if anyone is prepared for this exact experience, it's going to be Thurston. And look at this. Hyder's going to pick the outside this time.
And I do wonder if Connor Trafari is going to play games here on this restart. I sure hope he doesn't and he just races his teammate for the win and makes this a decent battle. But it would not shock me in the slightest if Trafari plays teammate here and just slows down to help Hyder to the win. Although River Page is on 4 tires as well, and Chenoweth. Remember, Chenoweth and Thurston, the 2 cars battling for the spot in the final round.
Well, let's take a peek and see what happens. These final 6 laps are going to get crazy. Green flags in the air. Trafari stalls it on the start.
Thurston needs to make work now. Oh, Trafari really
Trafari's
loose.
way loose. But now Page is by him.
We're going 3 wide. Dimitri sideways. We have a crash.
In the
Ethan
wall, multiple
Workman.
people around to the back, and there's the caution again.
Ethan Workman, Diego Roldan gets punted from Jason Samito into Connor Ballheights. It's mayhem on the front straightaway. And that was just
It looked like
a
that
scuffle.
started with Trafari and Moondros, but it looks like the culprit was Logan Sully, who once again self-spins off of 4, and...
I mean, that's just a jumble of cars running into each other. Yeah, Logan slowly just wrecks himself. Lily gets into it. Ethan Workman, watch this at the end. And yeah, I mean, just Jason Samito and Diego Roldan, they just come flying into this crash. Connor Ballheights with nowhere to go. You gotta really wonder what was going through their heads, because one guy slowed down and the other 2 really didn't. Watch this from Diego Roldan. As they're coming off the corner, you can see they're slowing down. Diego tries slowing down as Acuna is stopping for the crash. And then a little bit of netcode there, to be fair. But Jason Samito, Diego Roldan just fly in there after the crash already concluded. So, yeah, not pretty from those 2.
And now this is nightmare scenario for Thurston, because now you're only going to have 2 laps to try to get by AJ Hyder and River Page at this point. And I mean, your chances of winning this race and moving on to the next round are dwindling in front of our eyes, and it's just very... I would be so nervous if I was inside the 96 car, but it's just... it's rough. It is what it is.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it just sucks there for James, because he had this race locked. I mean, once again, another situation where this race was absolutely his, and then people that aren't even racing for anything end up ruining it. But it's not over. Not only will Hyder will have a good restart. He's had great restarts ever since that second one, but now he's got somebody on fresh tires right next to him. That will change the complexion of this restart, because whatever advantage Hyder gets here will only matter for a few corners, because River will be right there, but it'll be fully dependent on the jump Page gets As we saw in that last restart, everybody behind Hyder started slowing each other down, racing for position. Unless River has a horrible restart here, I can't imagine that'll be the case. Hyder will not be able to get away this time. River will have at least one chance to try to get this win, and we'll see whether he'll be able to take it away from the 44, get that second career ASCA Cup Series victory. Once again, Hyder picking the outside on this restart.
Is Armani there? Did he pass out?
I think he passed out again. Oh,
No, I was sneezing.
okay.
I was sneezing. See, we're here. Oh, this is going to be nerve-wracking.
Yeah, this is either going to be very clean or very ugly, and, well...
If I'm Thurston, I'm backing off just a little bit just to avoid getting to the back of the 24.
Here we go. River Page, AJ Hyder coming to the restart. This might be the final one of the night, and yes, it is a big jump from Hyder and an even bigger jump from Connor Trafari.
I don't know why Thurston chose the bottom both times. He should have taken the top.
There's no choose cone in NASCAR. He didn't have a choice there. He had to start on the inside. River Page, he is closing in. Can the 44 hang on with older left side tires? 1 lap to go.
White flag in the air. Thurston running a funny line on the bottom, overdriving and giving third to Trafari. Here's the battle for the win. River Page sending it in deep. He's going to get inches from that back bumper, but not enough. AJ Hyder's 6th win of the season here at Bristol.
And there goes Thurston's playoffs, ruined because of Caden Mobley-Kelly wrecking for nothing.
Well, I mean, what else do you say? I mean, that just sucks, but not for Hyder, of course. Great win there for the 44. That will be 6 wins on the season. And once again, showing that he might be just the championship favorite. Although, I'll tell you what, Aiden Walker has really been putting a run for the money these last couple of weeks. But a great defense from AJ Hyder. Great tire strategy. Almost flipped it there with that battle for Thurston there. Almost gave a win away, but that caution saved him big time.
He just said he's out of gas.
Well, there you go. Let's take a look at the finishing results after 202 laps of action here from Bristol Motor Speedway. It's going to be AJ Hyder winning today. Led the most laps, dominated the day. River Page comes home second, just 1 corner short. Connor Trafari holding off on the 2 tires after an incredible restart for third, and James Thurston, the heartbreak continues. For the 96, now making a 26 race winless streak for James. He finishes 4th. Larsha with a solid day in 5th. He'll be racing for a championship this season. Chris Lilly will not. He finishes 6th. Not a top 5. Said today he wanted one once again. 1 spot short. Dimitri Mundros coming back from a suspension in 7th. A career day for Tyler Dixon in 8th place. Connor Bullheisen 9th, and somehow Diego brings it home a top 10 after crashing right before the end of the race. Going through the rest of our results now. It'll be Logan Sully, followed by Diego Acuna, then Nico Servideo and Ethan Workman. Chris Bowes, followed by Daniel Bonning, and then Caden Mobley-Kelly and Jason Samito. And rounding out the top 20 will be Owen Chabinsky and Connor Berkey. Then the rest of the field will be Landon Warren, Aiden Arevalo, Aiden Walker, followed by Alexander Ortega, Bishop Wisdom, and Wayne A. Kennedy, rounding out the field for tonight's race. And with that being said, it is time to take it on over to Santa's Workshop for our post-race coverage. And let's see if we have any takers. AJ, it didn't come easy this time around. Dominated the first half of the day, but then you had a new player. James Thurston came into play right at the end, but with that last caution, you had to make a confident caution call. Did you feel confident that it was going to work out? Well, speaking of a championship round, this is the first guy that hasn't won in the championship since Walker. Walker had a very impressive two first races. I'm pretty sure that he's in, even though he didn't even race tonight. So now we have to discuss, when it comes to you and Aiden Walker, I mean, those are the two favorites right now. Going into this final round, how confident are you that you can get this second championship? And AJ, are there any partners at all that you would like to thank for this win? Yeah, what's up? Oh yeah, I'm ready. Okay, so problem, hold on.
Don't tell me.
Hold on, everyone stop. They didn't hear anything that you just said. We're gonna start over.
Oh my god.
God,
AJ, sorry, dude. Look, I'm changing the microphones. I'm changing everything. I'm kind of
Fantastic,
listen, AJ, how do you feel about this
man.
win, man? How do you feel about
I
this
can't-
win, man? How do you feel? How do you feel?
Good, driver.
You're feeling good,
We
man?
turned left. We got.
Oh yeah.
We
I know
turned
you
left
did.
and we went real fast today. We won the damn thing.
That's what I'm talking about, man. And who are you thanking for this win?
I'm thanking everyone at Circle K.
That's right.
Everyone Gavin Graham Enterprises. Brought real fast Chevy Camaro to Bristol. We're gonna go party this one. We're gonna go with local Chili's and local Circle K after this time.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna get ready for the damn championship round, man.
Because that's what you do. You go to a Chili's and then your tummy starts to hurt and you drop your load at a Circle K
At the
bathroom.
Circle
There
K
you go.
bathroom. Exactly.
That's right. And that's AJ, everybody. That's AJ for you. Because I had him muted on the broadcast. I'm sorry. All right, but now we have second place River. What felt like one corner short of getting your second career victory. How does second feel for you after tonight?
I just have to say, I am so glad to hear your voice right now. You
Oh,
have no
really?
idea
Oh,
how
really?
glad I am to hear that you're back in this booth. Anyways, that was.
What is that? Get someone get Wayne in here so he can hear what he just said.
I love Wayne. I love Wayne, but
That's so
last week he had
disrespectful.
one question, and no one else knows how to ask questions in here except for you. Okay, it's a compliment.
Listen, I can ask questions. I
God.
just
Oh
choose
my
not
God.
to.
God. Here, no. Let's ask questions. So we're gonna ask questions.
Okay, I'm ready to answer. Hit me.
All right, well, I'll
Today,
ask the
All right, I'll ask the
Whoa,
question.
guys,
already
whoa. What is going on?
I'll ask the
Ask the
question.
question. Go ahead.
He
All
he
Jacob,
already
ask the
asked.
question. Jacob, ask the question.
right, River. All right, River. After that pit stop where it seemed like James Thurston was far and away the best driver up there, and those two were scrapping it out at the end of the win before that caution came out. Was there any really doubt in your head that you had a chance at that a good finish there, or did you think it was all over at that point?
I was confident. Obviously, I was going to finish third, which I would have been happy with. I guess I think if I want to win the championship, I had to have beaten AJ there because he's just so automatic. It's just really hard to get points on him. So I was going to settle for third. He did a really good job saving, and it was just pissing me off. I got so impatient. I tried to pass him with 60 laps to go, and I just destroyed my tires. But I was going to be happy with third, and then of course it would not be Bristol without a few yellows at the end. So we got up there. Jim and I, we agreed that we think 4 tires would be the move, and if not for that second caution right at the end, which I don't know what happened, but it's just a little restart shenanigans here, happens every time. But I think I just needed one more. I needed one more lap. I would have gotten him, obviously, and I'm still happy with second place. But it was an exciting finish. I did not think I was going to have a chance at beating Jim at all. I don't even really recall how I passed him, but I ended up in front of him. So.
Yeah, well, nonetheless here, you are now going to be competing for a championship in your rookie season. And to emphasize, the last guy that did that, Aiden Walker, ended up winning the title after all that's said and done. So now we're going to be going into this final round. You're the third seed, or at least you should be the third seed going in. Or actually, you should be the second seed, actually, with Aiden not showing up today. When it comes to your how are you feeling regarding not only making this final round, but your likelihood of winning a championship? Because you've proven that you can win. Hell, you've proven that you can be higher on a given day. But going into these final 3 races at Auto Club Martinsville and then Homestead, how are you feeling about your likelihood of winning the championship?
I think I got a chance. I just have to. I feel like I did really good today and just staying clean and putting down consistent laps. I was never too far up behind AJ, which is, I always want to see that Circle K logo nice and big in my windscreen. Yeah, no, it's a good looking car. I want to see it there, and it never got too far ahead of me today, which was, I thought I had a little something for him before we get that first caution, and then I was always just a step behind. But yeah, we'll see. I haven't done Auto Club in this car in forever, but I'm confident in my abilities at Homestead, Martinsville. I don't really know. I just want to finish that race decent, but either of the other 2 tracks, I think I'll do well, and I'm excited to see how it goes. But either way, I'm proud of myself that I made it this far, and I hope we can just keep having good, clean racing, because today, AJ said, like, we were just really clean, and we raced each other, not just me and him, but Jim and Trafari and everybody else that was up there for a little bit. Trafari and Connor were side by side for like 15 laps, and they didn't hit each other once, so there was a lot of good, clean racing, and that's all you can really ask for, especially at a place like this. So however it goes, I'm just having fun.
All good, man. And are there any partners that you'd like to thank for this 2nd place finish?
Fireball Talks NASCAR, Haggard Electrical, and Hondo. They don't sponsor me, but I just thought the logo was cool, and I made this car, and I think it looked pretty good with the night race, a little dark blue. I think it looks pretty good on there. Got a little fish on the hood. They don't sponsor me. Maybe I'll show them my 2nd place finish in ASCA, and they will throw money at me. Hopefully,
for a little bit of dough. Why don't you?
Hopefully, maybe I can get them on my real car. That's the end goal. But yeah, that's all. Thanks you guys too.
Of course. And with that, 2nd place finish is going to be going to River Page. And now we get to move on to 3rd place, Connor Trafari with... What a day. Connor, where do we even begin with your day? Didn't start off too high. But you made a good strategy call right in the middle of the race, was one of the first people to come down pit road, and it ended up benefiting you very well. First off, where did that strategy come from? And secondly, did you think that you had a chance to steal this race away?
Yeah, so really that strategy kind of came from, just my bad qualifying. The car was just not gripped up at all as I thought it would be through 1 2, and lost me a few tenths there, so I had to start in the back. But was able to make some positions really easily on the top line, so I kind of figured that was the line you wanted to be in the pass. And we had that long run, and I was keeping up with AJ, who else was it? Sorry, AJ, Thurston, River, I don't know, the big guys. And later in that run, man, it just started to snap. It was wanting to spin out almost every corner. I just couldn't get the power down at all, so I figured it's about 95 laps to go or so. Why not come down and pit? I thought most of the field had already done that because we were just getting flown by a bunch of lappers who were behind us. And missed the pit row on the first attempt, which really didn't help me out too much. I lost a few seconds on that, but came down, got the lead by basically a whole track length with 50 to go. And I'm thinking to myself, this could possibly work depending on how the lap times fall. And then the car built the complete opposite way. It just built completely tight. So eventually I got passed by those guys, fell to, I believe it was 5th when the caution came out, which I'm kind of happy about because I think Lars would have gotten me at the end there just because of how tight the car was and how much time I was losing to him. And my strategy was going to take 2 tires regardless of how many people took 2. I just figured that would be the best strategy, especially with like 3 or 4 laps to go, just short amount of laps, and just pray it works. And AJ took 2. So I didn't get the lead, unfortunately. Got some wheel spin on the first restart, shot me back to 4th. And then we worked together, timed that out on the second restart to get me alongside River. And Thurston got to my inside out of 4 on the last lap. Kind of ran me out of room, hit the wall, kind of went down into him, shot him a little loose, and was able to kind of get 3rd from that. But overall, a good showing.
Speaking of good showings, you are now in a position that you haven't been in quite some time. For anyone that might not know, Connor Trafari missed the playoffs last season after running for the championship a season prior. So he's coming back into a space he's been quite familiar with. Raced for the championship in season 6, raced for in 7, and now he is back here in season 9, fighting for a title. He's within that 5-driver group that's going to be fighting for a title at Auto Club Martinsville and at Homestead. Connor, with your win that you had at Charlotte earlier in the year and a great finish here today, I want to talk about your confidence going into this championship round. Do you think you have what it takes to win your first championship?
I mean, if everything falls right, it definitely could happen. I'm really good at Martinsville. I think I could honestly compete for the win there and just have a really good showing. Auto Club, I feel like I'm always pretty solid in any car I run. I feel like I could do good there. I think the big question mark could be Homestead. Homestead's not really my best track. And that is also during Coke 600 weekend, so I'd have to see if I'm going back home that Monday or not, or if I go back the next day, just to not have to run home and set up everything whenever I get back home. But I mean, we'll see. AJ is fast. Who else made it? Let me see real quick. Aiden's fast. Rivers always fast. Lars is fast. And Walker, he won the last 2 races. So I mean, it's some really tough competition. We'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the final 5. That gives me a chance. That's all I could ask for.
Mm-hmm. And with that, Connor, is there anybody you'd like to thank for this performance?
Oh, Gavin,
Oh, I wonder
you
who you're
already
gonna talk
know.
about.
Yeah, you already know. I want to give a huge shout out to Crystal Lee for making this amazing Lot 9 Brewing Chevy Camaro. They have been on my car the entire season, apart from. No, I think they've been my sponsor the whole season. So big shout out to Lot 9 Brewing. Big shout out to all my teammates at Uprise tonight. AJ Hyder, Chris Lilly, Diego Roldan, Katie Mobley Kelly. He was racing with one hand. I still don't know how the hell he did that. Props to him.
And he only wrecked twice. Wow.
Yeah, he only wrecked twice. I'm really surprised he made as far as he did.
Unfortunately, that second one completely manipulated the race, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, he also hurt his wrist doing that one. So we'll see how that goes. But best to the recovery for him. Big shout out to y'all for the broadcast, of course. And a big shout out to all the admins who put on this league. Can't wait to be here next Monday.
Just so you guys know, he went through every single Uprise teammate except Logan. I just want you guys to keep that in mind. I just want you guys to know that he just did not talk about Logan at all. Logan, I hope you're listening to this. He does not value you as a friend. He does not value you as a teammate. He doesn't value you as a person. He doesn't. He didn't even bring it up.
Gavin, don't worry. I'll buy Logan Chick-fil-A.
The side character.
It'll be fine.
Kelly is a side character, and he mentioned him before you, Logan. I'm just saying.
I'll buy Logan Chick-fil-A. It's fine. It's fine.
And with that, that is 3rd place. And since they are here, and we have confirmed our 5 drivers are going to be AJ, Lars, Aiden, Connor, and River. Right? Have we confirmed?
Aiden holds on to the final spot in the top 5 by 4 points over Thurston. If Thurston had finished like 2nd, he probably would have jumped him.
Well, here, let's talk to our other 2 drivers that are going to be competing for a championship because they're here. Start off with Aiden, who just got home from the airport. Aiden, you're racing for a championship again.
Who was in your car trying to start the race,
I had Trevor Huff in my car. I was trying my hardest to at least have someone start in park because I got told... God. As long as the car runs 1 lap. But before anything, breathe in, breathe out. Like the amount of flights that got delayed for me today made it even more. No, Southwest, but also people taking. Yeah. They're comfortable flights, though. I will admit that. I guess I gotta shout out Southwest for being late. But also being smooth. Gotta give him that. Yeah, it was a bit stressful tonight. When I turn off airplane mode, I get a bunch of text messages. Oh yeah, I'm not able to start in park. And then I see Thurston's in 2nd. I'm like, are you serious? Can everything go wrong tonight? So, yeah, that was probably the most stressed out I've been a good bit, even with the K1 Nationals this week. That was probably less stressful than what it was tonight. So,
You heard it here first, folks. Real life karting racing for probably money is less stressful than ASCA Cup Series. Only the best drivers here in the ASCA Cup Series, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here,
Just proves how much our guys
here.
want it more than any
I
other
love
league.
it. I love
now,
ASCA.
Aiden, now that we can put the stress aside, because you are going to be racing
Yes.
for a championship, we got to say, I mean, talk about a complete turnaround. Won the ASCA 500 on top of the world. You don't win for the rest of the regular season. In fact, honestly, your regular season was not. You were getting wrecked a
I
lot.
don't understand how I finished second in the regular season. Like, seriously.
Yeah, that
I had-
second half was.
That we don't. Can we just like move that away?
We can.
We don't need to talk about that anymore.
Well, we could talk about this instead. Came in, won the first two races, pretty much had the maximum amount of points you could have had going into Bristol, because this wasn't a shock. You had this planned from the get-go. It was more of just you really needed to have two good races to have a big enough of a cushion. And I mean, you won both races. So now we're going to be moving on to Auto Club Martinsville and Homestead. Last season, you put it all together with by far the best strategy I've seen in a very long time and won Auto Club. Went ahead and went over to Homestead, was able to get that victory there too. Coming to this season, there's a lot more competition this time around. It ain't just you and AJ anymore. You got three more guys in River, in Lars, and in Connor that are really hungry for a title. How do you feel about your likelihood of getting a second championship in this coming round?
I feel confident. Like, Martinsville, I'm always strong on short tracks. Auto Club just may not one of my strongest tracks, to be honest, but like I've usually had good strategy there, which is always a big deal, especially if it comes down to fuel mileage, which I think after last season, a lot more people are going to attempt those type of moves. So, yeah, I feel confident about those two races. Homestead's going to be kind of a throw-up since the new aero model, since the O'Reilly car has gotten updated. So that may be a bit different from what we saw last season. Maybe a bit harder to pass at some points. May have to move around a bit more. Yeah, I'm feeling confident about it. It's definitely a lot more competition this season than what it was last season. Hopefully we can keep the momentum that we had these other 2 weeks. Not this week, since I was actually just not here. So, yeah, hopefully we can keep this momentum up that we've had for the first two races of playoffs that I've had. Hi, Chris!
Dude, your brother sold you out.
No, it was Trevor Huff.
Oh. Well, whoever it was, they did not follow the bit.
Yeah, let me read the text message Trevor sent me real quick. Let's see. Let me open up my phone. Alright. Okay, so I would have won you poll if I didn't invalidate your blap it intentionally. Chris is gonna DM you. They kicked me because I wasn't talking and someone told them you were in Cali. You're still registered.
We wouldn't have asked anything, but you told us you were gonna be away.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of dug yourself the hole there.
Yeah. But you did say as long as the car ran one lap.
If you were behind the wheel.
You did not put that in to that.
Okay, come on. I wasn't gonna let that
Also,
work.
it didn't help with Southwest delaying my flight by 2 hours today. And then just to make it better, when we landed, we had to wait even longer. But anyways. Just, I feel confident about how this final round's gonna go. Happy that all of the stress from this first round's gone. Got all that over with. Now we can just go on and focus on this final round.
And that is Aiden Walker. He is going to be competing for a championship for the second season in a row. And finally, Lars has been here way too long. Lars, get in here. Thank you for being patient.
Hi.
And rookie season, making it into the final five, racing for a championship this season. First, considering the middle part of the regular season where you were running into a lot of trouble, you've had an incredible late regular season run and even better first round. How do you feel that you're finally here?
Dude, my life right now, it's sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. You know, everything's awesome. Absolutely nothing's going wrong. You know, during the middle of the regular season, everything was terrible. Like every race, I was either wrecking myself or getting wrecked or getting penalties. But like as soon as Atlanta started, I actually became good again, and just everything since then has been awesome. And yeah, I don't know, everything's sunshine and rainbows, man.
And when it comes to your championship prospects, you're coming in here with 4 guys that have a lot of experience, either when it comes to stuff inside of ASCA, stuff outside of ASCA. 2 champions part of the roster. How do you feel like you stack up against the other 4?
Being completely honest with you, I'm not winning this championship, dude. But you know, nothing's impossible. AJ, AJ is so fast. He basically has grip hacks. So it feels like that at some tracks. He is so incredibly fast. You know, everybody in there, Connor Tafari, River Page, Aiden Walker, everybody, they're just so fast. And, you know, I don't think I have the raw pace to beat them, but I might get lucky. You know, anything is possible. I'm going to try my hardest at Auto Club in Martinsville. I'm not amazing at those tracks. I'm pretty good at Homestead, but I guess we'll see.
And that is Lars Chenoweth. He's going to be competing for a title in his first season here at ASCA. We have 2 of them, River Page and Lars Chenoweth. And finally, I wanted to spend some extra time to highlight the 5 drivers that are going to be competing for a championship this season. What a race, really. I mean, Armand, are you even here? Are you even here? Are you even still here?
I'm here. I'm here.
You're here? Okay, well, I got to say, for a Bristol race, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a fun race. I thoroughly enjoyed. Unfortunately, I can't really say the Connor Jafari hate watch was entirely successful, but he didn't win, so it was mildly successful.
Well, with that being said, we're not done here, guys. Coming next week, if I have my schedule correct, I'm pretty sure that it is.
Auto Club.
Yep, it's going to be Auto Club coming up next week. This is going to be a good one. Last time out at Auto Club, we had 2 guys, Corbin Collins and our eventual champion, Aiden Walker, pulling some amazing strategies, fuel all the way down to the wire. If there's anything that solidified that championship for Walker, it was by far that incredible strategy call. And we're going to continue to see strategy calls like that, including some incredible racing at Auto Club next Monday. I hope you all enjoyed this night's broadcast and this race, because, you know, I certainly did. And with that, we'll be back next week. See you guys later, and you have